Correct.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I had to bring this to you. I was having a look at the charts and I had a bit of an epiphany. Now, in my previous video, we were talking about an extremely bearish scenario. Now, I don't want to get too excited. We have had a bit of a rebound here. However, keep in mind, we are still in a massive downtrend. So if you didn't check out my previous video, I'm not going to go over all that again today. We went over the bearish case. I talked about the fact that we had to break these critical resistances. I am not officially a short-term Bitcoin bull just yet, but we have some potential major hopium that I just wanted to go over today, and I thought it would be an excellent opportunity to talk about whale accumulation, wyckoff, and whether or not Bitcoin is actually still looking to put in another big move to the upside, maybe even eyeing that $40,000 level. Stick around to the end of this video. We are going to keep it super short and sweet. You are not going to want to miss any of the information in this video, guys, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely consider it. We make these videos not every single day, but certainly when I see something important, and today is one of those days, guys. So let's hop in directly to the chart. There's absolutely no time to waste today. Now, first thing we got to talk about is what is going on with these Bitfinex shorts. This has been an absolute roller coaster. Now, on this first short, when it was all the way up here, that was when we had the massive sell-off where we dipped below $29,000. However, on the second time that we got up to these levels, we didn't really see as much of an intense move, right? We also didn't see a short squeeze, which is quite interesting, but you will see now that whales are closing out their shorts. Does this mean that Bitcoin is finally ready for that massive rebound? Well, having a look right here, we need to talk about what happened. Now, I spoke about this level right down here, and we wicked down to this level perfectly. So if you actually follow this trend, even though, yes, it is a downwards trend, we do have the bottom of this V-shaped move right here. We have the bottom of this V-shaped move right here. And if we connect these all the way down, you can actually see that this is exactly where we bounced off perfectly. And this was the level that I said we needed to defend. Now, whether or not this is just a weekend fake out, we did in fact get a bounce off of that level. So that is the first thing that I want to point out. The second thing is that we actually broke above not one, but two short resistances, and we came down and retested that as support as well. And also, if I take everything off of the screen right here, you could see that the 21 average moving right here on the 4 hour has now actually acted as support. Now, look, guys, I understand that this is just on the 4 hour, but you can also see, if you have a look at this, that arguably Bitcoin could potentially be putting in a bit of a double bottom pattern. So that is something also to point out. And what I'm looking for specifically, I'm not getting too excited, but I'm a little bit excited because this was a very nice bounce off the levels that we needed. Down here, you can actually argue that on this 4 hour chart, it could look like this money flow is actually starting to flow back into the green territory. And we also have a smaller momentum wave, going from this big blue one down here. And this is also trending upwards as well. So what I want to see, and this could be happening either later on today or most probably tomorrow, if we get some kind of a wave coming up here, and then we come down, and if we put in a smaller blue wave down here, like a wave that's higher than this wave, then I think we may actually have confirmation of a reversal. Once again, disclaimer, I just wanted to show you guys this. Go back and watch my previous video. We are still in a downtrend. We still cannot break above these levels. So it is still not looking wonderful for Bitcoin, but this is probably one of the first signs of hope that we've seen since this massive drawdown, right? So I wanted to bring that to you. Now, shout out to Rect Capital over on Twitter. Go follow him if you're not. He says the Bitcoin recovery is promising, but the 50-week EMA hasn't yet been reclaimed as support. Weekly close above $33,500 would be enough to save the 50 weekly EMA as support. Now, interestingly enough, if we actually have a look at what he's talking about right here, so the 50 weekly EMA is this purple moving average right here, and the regular moving average, just the regular weekly moving average, is this yellow line right here. Now, interestingly enough, even though we did dip below it on that crazy short event that we did have with the Bitfinex whales, we actually are sitting above it right now. And you could see that we're virtually sitting almost exactly on the EMA, which is around $33,750 according to this Gemini chart. So we're only about $300 or $400 away from potentially closing that. So are we going to end up closing this weekly candle above the 50 EMA for the weekly? That would be pretty incredible, guys, for Bitcoin. Now, also, as I spoke about with these trend lines right here, I talked about the significance of staying above this trend because look, this trend right here, okay, provided resistance and we got rejected. It was resistance again and we got rejected. We kind of struggled to break above it here. We rode along it for a couple weeks. We finally had the breakout. We came down on the capitulation event right here, 54% crash, perfectly retested it. And even though, yes, we did fall below it recently when we dumped below 29,000, as you can see right here, we are back above the level again. So we're above this long-term trend line and we are above the 50 weekly moving average. And we could potentially, depending on what happens in the next few hours, close above this 50 EMA on the weekly, which could potentially signal that Bitcoin is looking for a massive move. Now, let me actually go back to this chart. I know this is like my third time bringing it up. Shout out to Misconfig, Year of the Bull. So he was essentially pointing out these sort of mania phases, right? Now, yes, Bitcoin changes over time. The charts aren't exact. There's a lot more volume overall coming in. You know, there's a lot more trading going on. We're talking about higher price ranges, but you can see right here. So we have this mania phase down here. We have the blow off. Obviously, then we go into despair. We go into this long bull market, into the stealth phase, awareness phase. And then look, right here, yet again, we go into the mania phase. Now, the mania phase is where you have this bear trap at the 1.618 that we talked about. So there's this crazy, it's not necessarily a blow off, but everyone's excited. And then price just continues to put in lower lows, lower highs. And then we have this bounce, right? And then what happens is then you go into the final blast off where you go into the greed, you know, the blow off phase, and then we go into the actual bear market. Now, if we actually fast forward and look at where we are today, look, here we are down here with the mania phase leading into the 2017 bull run. We come down here, we have our despair, we have our bear market, we have our stealth phase, awareness phase, and look at this, guys, right here, right now, the first major sell-off, we could potentially be having that bear trap at the 1.618, and also this could be the beginning of the, you know, mania phase into the blow-off phase. Now, it's not clear or certain, right? We're kind of just grabbing for things here. We're looking for some hopium. I know my previous video was a little bit, I guess, negative. You know, I wasn't trying to be negative. I just was being realistic about the downtrend. But if you look at everything that's lining up right now, could the stars and planets be aligning for Bitcoin? It is something that I'm going to keep my eyes on right here. Now, yes, we are going to potentially have a CME futures gap. We did close futures at around $32,135. Now, no, actually, we closed at 32,100. But here's the thing. We had a beautiful support right here on this long-term trend that, sorry, I still have drawings from the last time we had this chart open, but you can see right here, let me just get rid of these lines, that essentially we had these two touches right here, right? And what was this? This was the last double bottom, right? When we hit 42,000 and then we fell all the way back down to that $29,000 level. And then we had the mania phase, right? And if we actually have a look at what we're doing right now, over here on CME futures, we did in fact get support. We even wicked down to it here. Okay, let me put this where you guys could see it. We had another one here. This down here was the crazy capitulation event. This could have been the bear trap, the same way that this was the little mini bull trap, right? And look at exactly where we are sitting right now for CME futures. We are sitting exactly on that level right now. And we do have this blue wave crossing down. And if we do put in a higher blue wave like this coming up to the upside, then does that mean that potentially we're going to have the money flow go back into the green? Obviously, I don't know. I would be lying if I said I know what's going to happen 100%. We're just kind of guessing here, but we are seeing some hidden potential signs of a bullish reversal, right? Now, having a look over at the DXY is still holding above this level right here. It is still fighting. It is still trying to go higher. Like I said, if the DXY does end up pumping from this point, then that would probably not be good for Bitcoin, right? Because when the dollar strengthens, it usually has an inverse relationship with Bitcoin, and we see Bitcoin selling off. S&P 500, though, seems to be having no problem putting in those higher levels. So I just wanted to mention that, guys. As you can see right here, we are obviously not out of the water yet. I'm not saying that we're going to go to some crazy level. Everything that I said in my previous video could still play out. We could still go to the downside. This does kind of look like a falling wedge pattern. If you just eliminate this bull trap right here, it does kind of look like we're in this giant falling wedge. Falling wedges do typically break out to the upside. Keep in mind, we have been in a downwards trend. They can be invalidated, but essentially right here, guys, you could see that we've broken above some of these key resistances. And yeah, right now we are being held down right now by this trend line right here. But the main thing I'm keeping my eyes on, as I said, is getting above this right here. I don't believe we're going to have a second bull trap like we did here. I think if we break above this, break above it, and what you really want to do is actually break above it and then retest something like, this level right here, and then continue upwards, then I don't think we're going to have what we had here. I actually think Bitcoin is going to keep going to the upside, looking for this major resistance level right here. And this is the scariest one. This is the biggest one of all. The one from the two top. I don't know what I'm doing on my charts, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just get this so you guys can see what is going on. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay. So basically we had this peak right here, this peak right here, right? So this is going to be the level that we need to get above. And yeah, I actually think if we can break above out of this, falling wedge, triangle pattern, bouncing sideways, chop, salad pattern, whatever the heck this pattern is that we've been in for so long, then I do believe we are going to see a move to the upside. Now, I also just wanted to say one more thing before we go. And I wanted to give a shout out to Florin, actually, who is a member of the CryptoZombie community. By the way, if you guys have not joined the Telegram, definitely check out the free Telegram group below in the description. It is absolutely free. I don't charge anything. I don't have any paid groups or anything like that. So if somebody reaches out to you and says, I'm from the CryptoZombie team and you need to pay this, no, guys, I don't do any paid services. It's just a free Telegram group. We hang out, we chat, we talk crypto. But what Florin actually pointed out, and it's not on the charts right here, but he actually has been following some whale wallets, and recently there was a massive whale wallet inflow of 34,000 Bitcoin purchased at around the $34,000 level. So what we really could be seeing is literally the whale accumulation down here. Now, some people say the wyckoff pattern has been invalidated, but really it's just a template. It doesn't have to follow it exactly. Everybody was expecting this to be the major spring, but instead we got rejected. And doesn't that seem like that's what the whales would do, right? If everybody's looking at a wyckoff distribution or a wyckoff accumulation, then why would you play it out exactly as people are expecting it to, right? You want to catch them off guard. You want to chop the waters up, right? And the thing is even if we are still in a macro bear market, for example, like we come up here and we get rejected and then we just continue down for the next few months or the next year, that's fine. I'm not going to rule that out. But one thing that I did say in the Telegram is it just doesn't make sense for whales to continue to push down the prices any further. Yes, we could go down to 24,000 possibly, but people talking about $10,000 Bitcoin, things like that. You have to understand from a psychological perspective what that would actually do to the structure of the market, to the the emotions, to the retail. It would absolutely crush souls, right? And you would say, "Oh, that's a good thing. That's what they want." They want to scare you. They want to create fear. They don't want to crush your souls. You know what I'm saying? Because then when people lose faith in Bitcoin, people pull their money out, then there's no liquidity. Then what are they going to do? Just trade amongst themselves back and forth? You need the retail inflow. You need the money. You need the emotional trading, right? So they're not going to let Bitcoin crash to $10,000. That would be insane. But keeping it down at these levels for this long and pushing it down lower and lower and lower, this is telling me that there is accumulation going on. Whether or not we still go lower or not, I guarantee you, when we have a look back in history, 6 months from now, and you look at the data, there is a lot of accumulation going on in this range. And if you're wondering why the whales are able to manipulate and do this, well, number one, for today's purposes, it is the weekend. There is lower volume, but overall, there's just lower volume in general. I mean, if you look at where we were when we were, going all the way up to 65K versus now, there's not as much trading. There's not as much liquidity. So this actually creates a better opportunity for these whales to manipulate the markets, right? Because there's not as much liquidity. It doesn't take as much to move the price all around. So like I said, I mean, I'm sitting here making a video at $33,000, you know, with a bunch of hopium. Guys, no, the chart looks ugly. It looks ugly. It looked ugly yesterday. It looked ugly last week. It looks ugly today. It does. It does. I'm going to be honest. But we are seeing signs of potential hope, of potential reversal. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys, give you this quick update today. Like I said, I'm not saying we're going to just blast off to 40K tomorrow, but I am seeing these signs, and the fact that we perfectly touched that level and we didn't fall any lower, and we're seeing some of the money flow come back in, and we're seeing some of the momentum waves on the daily, on the CME futures chart, on the 4-hour chart, sloping to the upside, it does maybe potentially look like there could be hope. But I'm telling you guys, if there was any hope, this is sort of the last hope, essentially, for the bulls, at least for these price levels. Okay, so if the bulls are going to step in, they need to step in now. They need to push this above this level right here, and we need to see a Bitcoin close. For me, I would like to see Bitcoin get up to about $36,000 roughly before having a pullback. If we see a $36,000 Bitcoin, even if we get a rejection off of that level, I will still remain a little bit short-term bearish, but it is going to definitely be making me lean a lot more towards the bullish side, okay? And ultimate bullishness, obviously, is putting in some kind of a higher high. So pretty much we need to get above $40,000. So anything above where these levels are, these resistances, even getting into this level right here would be what I'm looking for. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know my previous video was a little bit of a downer. I do hate making bearish videos, guys. So today I have a little bit of a bullish scenario that could be playing out. But it's the weekend. It's Sunday. Mondays are crazy. You know, we could wake up tomorrow and we could be all the way back down at $30,000. Go back and watch my previous video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this update. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it's not looking beautiful, but there is still a little bit of hope, okay? And like I said, guys, if you are a long-term hodler and you're just dollar cost averaging, well, then this past month has been quite the blessing, right? Quite the blessing. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Hope you guys enjoyed my dosage of hopium. I hope you guys liked it. You know, like I said, not saying go throw the mortgage away on crypto today. I still would be careful trading these ranges, look for confirmations, but definitely getting back. Just want to end on the final note right here. Is like I said, if we do get this blue wave crossing up, coming back down, putting in a smaller blue wave, then I would actually say that could be a potential to long Bitcoin, and we might be looking to have that bounce, even if we come down here, again, you know, have that bounce, and we might start looking for some of these levels, bouncing off this resistance, you know, doing something like this, and yeah, we could be working our way all the way back up to a $40,000 Bitcoin. So it's a stretch. It's a stretch, guys, but it's a possibility. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. I love you. You're awesome. Enjoy your weekend. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.